Ah yes, one of my beloved childhood games, Area 51. Oh, I mean, survive and kill the killers in Area 51, also known as 51. Yeah, let's just stick with the name Area 51 game, alright? So, what exactly am I going to be explaining in this video? Basically, everything big there is to this childhood game very shortly though. So let's start. So this game originally came out in 2014, but started actually gaining traction in 2015 and expanding from then in player count. And it peaked around that time when popular YouTubers were actually making videos about that game, which was 7 years ago, which was like 2016, all the way up to 5 years ago, which was 2018 maybe. And as it currently stands right now, surprisingly, this game still hasn't died out yet, which is why I'm making a video about this as well. And it's actually still pretty active community on platforms like Discord and actually YouTube as well. So the map is huge. When I first looked at the wiki, I thought to myself, well, I could probably name each room individually. But, well, I definitely can't. So here's an oversimplified version for you guys. So we spawn in the surface, then we go down the vertical shaft and find ourselves in the main location. Then we may find ourselves in the location called Alien Laboratory, and maybe we'll find the robotics center as well. And oh, there is a containment area as well. And then there's of course a fucking pipe complex, because why not? Then there's also a radioactive area which damages you, and there's it's atomic bomb inside of it. Don't ask, just don't ask. And if you haven't got lost already, there's a whole ass sewer system as well. So yeah, on paper this might not even sound like much, but trust me, it is. Like, there's so many rooms, and I don't know why it feels like this is an entire backrooms level. Now, what can you do in this game? Well, you jump into this vertical shaft that I've mentioned earlier, you explore the area, you maybe find some monsters, well, you definitely will, and you will try and kill them or run away from them, and they will try to kill you. Is there anything else to this game? Yeah. So, there's first the MG42 Game Pass, which only costs 30 Robux and is a weapon that you cannot find except you buy it. Then there's also the Bloxy Cola energy drink, just called energy drink, but it's a Bloxy Cola, which originally was an actual energy drink. I think it was Monster Energy can, the Monster Energy can, but now it's not. And it costs 10 Robux and it heals 25 health, which is pretty good price again, and you can find and refill it in the cafeteria. Then there's also VIP for 90 Robux that gives you like 90% of the weapons inside of the game. Then there's also the Survivor Pack for 30 Robux, which gives you 2 support tools and an extra 50% health. Landmine for 10 Robux, which is pretty strong if it hits. The Endless Survival Starter for 20 Robux, which only works in Endless mode, duh. And it gives you a decent weapon in the beginning and a few more starter points, like I think 1000, and it's pretty decent. The Killer's Choice for 20 Robux, which only works in Killer mode or Juggernaut mode, which we'll come back to later, and actually lets you choose which killer you want to be instead of letting it to RNG. That rhymed. And then there's also 2 game passes which are deleted now. First was the Tip for 10 ticks, and it was just a tip. And then there's also the Invincibility Star for 10 Robux as well, and it was very cheap and it made you invincible faster and everything you touched died. So it, of course, it also was removed. And now as for the game modes, there is Classic mode, Killer mode, Endless, Boss Rush, Area 51 Storming, Kill House, and a upcoming Infection mode. I think most of them are self-explanatory, but well, Killer mode, you can actually play as a killer as well and also play as a normal person. Juggernaut mode, one overpowered killer versus a squad of humans. Endless is, well, endless. Boss Rush, you fight a big boss as a duo team. Area 51 Storming is hilarious, and I just want you to play it yourself, alright? You basically, if you've watched this video before, this one that I'm probably showing you, it sums it up perfectly. It's very nice. And Kill House, which is basically just a trading place. Well, this one is way too much to go over since there's way too much murderers and way too much guns or killers. So I'm just going to be mentioning the very important ones, like Ray Gun, which is overpowered, and all the other type of guns, in my opinion, are pretty solid, but not as good as the Ray Gun. Some killers are pretty easy to kill and some aren't, like for example Slender. And also in killer mode, you want to be playing Slender. You want to be playing Slender because Slender is very strong. He has a arsenal of like 2-3 moves, and he's very strong. He one hits people, and he's just overall probably the best. So there's also a giant zombie somewhere in the atomic bomb place, which I've never fought before because, well, why the hell would I want to fight a giant zombie? But it's somewhere there, and that's pretty much it with the weapons, because that was just all I mentioned. Yeah, this game also has like these weird letters. So have you ever read them before? Like these pieces of letters, like these pieces of paper? Well, no, me neither. But basically, I had to read through all of them, and I came up with, there's like 13 pieces of paper, and you know, they're either telling you a sad story of someone experiencing his last moments alive, like his last minute alive, before he gets run over by like robots, or they also serve as clues or hints that will be useful for the player. There's also a lot of theories and some good ones. For example, the one that the zombies in Area 51 were employees and they died, or the substance of hate and rage, which is also pretty good, or that the reason why there is even killers in the first place here is because, you know, it's Area 51, they're trying to abduct experiments or something, and we're just intruders. So this video was longer than it should be. I wanted to make this short, but yeah, I guess it isn't. Sorry if there was something I couldn't fit in, like the killers, for example. I just don't know, man. I can't fit it in. So also I cannot afford to fumble a video because I upload twice a week. Yeah, it's probably 6 minutes long now. If you've enjoyed this video, subscribe, and if you haven't, just don't.